Hello and welcome back to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. Now, before I get into this video, I just would like to point out and raise a point which I think is very important. Now, we're going to be talking about Liverpool and in particular their transfer strategy around a certain position within the team. And by doing that, there's potential that there will be a crossover in terms of having to touch on matters around the tragic passing of Diogo Jota. And me being a Liverpool fan, I just want to point out that this video is made with all respect to his friends and family. And yeah, I just thought it was important to state that from the offset before we get into the video. Thank you. Now, really big news coming out of Liverpool and Newcastle today, and exciting news for the likes of myself being a Liverpool fan. There's been reports by David Ornstein from The Athletic, who I will say is a pretty reliable source up in Merseyside, that although no official bid has landed, club-to-club discussions have potentially taken place between Liverpool and Newcastle for a potential signing of Alexander Isak. I mean, wow. Liverpool fans, look, this has been kind of rumbling around now for a month or so, and it's kind of dropped off in terms of media speculation over the last couple of weeks, it's fair to say. And today, out of the blue, David Ornstein has come out and dropped the bombshell that the clubs are potentially in talks for this. As I say, no official bid of what we're led to believe is in place, but clubs are in discussion. Big news, massive news. And I want to look at Newcastle first, because Newcastle stands throughout all this is he's not for sale. He's not for sale. He's got, I think, 3 years left on his current deal. He's not for sale. But everyone's got a price. I don't care what anyone says, and especially given Newcastle's position with the PSR ruling. Newcastle are a team that want to generate more revenue so they can spend more. And I dare say Alexander Isak, he's one of the hottest properties in world football, not even just in the Premier League, in world football. And if they can get circa to 150 million quid, they're going to want to talk. I guarantee you now, as much as they won't want to sell him, if Liverpool slap a bag of cash on that table this summer, Newcastle are going to want to talk. Now, I think that is going to be the figure that potentially gets Newcastle. I know there's all this talk about 120 million, but let's be honest. He's up there with the best, with the elite. He's Premier League proven. We all say that the Premier League is the best league in the world. Arguably, I would say I agree with that, and he is a guy who is tried, tested, proven, and got the t-shirts of bagging goals in the Premier League. There's no better, other than maybe Erling Haaland, but there is no better. And in terms of all-round strikers, I dare say he's probably better than Erling Haaland. And you can clip that up if you want. But yeah, I said it, in terms of all-round game, I reckon Isak is a better all-round player. Now, there's no secret that Liverpool are in the market for a striker. Arne Slot obviously does not fancy Darwin Núñez. He made that abundantly clear with the fact that when he was available, he tended to play Luis Diaz as a false nine rather than play a number 9 in Darwin Núñez. It's fair to say, he's an out-and-out striker. He wears the number 9 as well, currently for Liverpool. And Slot would rather have played a left winger in his place. Now, if that doesn't tell you something, that this manager is not fancying me, then I don't know what is. Now, Liverpool are obviously trying to get him out the door. There's reports that Napoli are strongly strongly linked with him. They're trying to get Victor Osimhen out of their door so they can get the funds to bring Darwin Núñez in. We all know how these transfers work in terms of the domino effect, and that's what I think is happening right now. I think there's been, I don't know if it's an unofficial bid, an official bid, but there's been rumours that Napoli have stuck 50 million quid on the table, and Liverpool have said absolutely no, you need to improve on that. And especially with the tragic passing of Diogo Jota as well, Liverpool will be in the market for a striker more so now than ever. And it's fair to say they've had their eye on Alexander Isak now for a little while. And do I think this transfer will happen? I'll be honest, I don't think it will. I think Liverpool are more looking like they're going to try and poach Ekitike, because Newcastle are obviously linked with him as well. Newcastle have not renewed Callum Wilson's contract. Their only striker on their books, I believe, is Alexander Isak. They're going to be playing Champions League football next season, and there's rumours that they're in the market for Ekitike as well. But here's where you are as Liverpool. Liverpool are going to test the resolve of Newcastle, if you like, and also of Alexander Isak, because let's have it right. If Liverpool stick a strong bid in, let's say they put 130 million pound on the table, Alexander Isak, I have no doubt, will be saying, look, if club to club can agree this fee, I want to go. And this is no disrespect to Newcastle, but if you're going to play for Liverpool or Newcastle, bear in mind, if you've got no ties to either of those clubs, you don't support either of those clubs, you're a foreign player coming into the Premier League, which would you rather play for here and now? Would you rather play for Newcastle United, who have won one trophy in 70 years? Or would you rather play for Liverpool, who are currently the Premier League champions and probably one of the favourites for next year's Premier League? Come on. You want to play for Liverpool, and that's not me being biased because I'm a Liverpool fan. That is just saying how it is. So if Liverpool do come with a bid, I imagine Isak will put pressure on his current employers to potentially get that move, and that's when Newcastle have to make that tough decision, because if Isak wants to go, but they don't want to sell him, do you keep a player that doesn't really want to be at your club? And now look, he doesn't look like the type of character that will down tools and not play for Newcastle if he doesn't get the move. That's if he wants to get the move, by the way. He doesn't look like that type of player. But still, do you want to keep a player that ultimately doesn't want to be there, and potentially you can get a massive, massive cash investment to then reinvest and potentially buy one of the hottest properties on the market in Europe, i.e. Ekitike? So for Liverpool here, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's win-win, because Ekitike is still to be proven in the Premier League. Isak is proven. But either way, I think if Isak stays at Newcastle, Liverpool will probably end up buying Ekitike. But ultimately, if this bid does come in from Liverpool, I dare say that Alexander Isak will end up putting pressure on Newcastle to get that move, and that's when it's going to become a little fractious between club and player, because we all know how these things can pan out. And as I say, I don't think he will do that, but look, it's going to be an interesting saga, this, and like I say, it kind of tailed off for the last couple of weeks, and it is ramped right back up now. And listen, I'm excited to see how this one pans out. I really, really am. So stay tuned. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think about this? Liverpool fans, Newcastle fans, Newcastle fans, I imagine that you will want to keep this player no matter what. But if his head's turned, would you want to keep him? Let me know in the comments below. And also, don't forget, if you've not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button right now. I'll catch you in a bit.